Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Gina and it's Gina's signature. So I welcome you all to my tutorial. So today I'll be making a very beautiful gown. It's a bubble gown with a V neckline design. I made use of an Aso Oke fabric. If you are conversant with Yoruba people, they make use of this fabric more. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly sit back, relax, and enjoy. I attached it to the sleeves and then I gave it a little bit of beauty at the lower part as well. So depending on the pattern of your Aso Oke, or how do they call it? It's still Aso Oke, yeah. So if this is what you're interested in anyways, please just sit back, relax and enjoy. If you are new to my channel, please, I welcome you all. And if you are not subscriber, thank you and God bless you. So without wasting further ado, let's go back to the table. So yes, I have the fabrics here. This is an Amfakara fabric or African print, and then we have the Aso Oke. I made use of 4 half bundle, that's 4 lines and pieces. You know, when you're joining your head tie, that's how it comes out to be. Yeah. So this is the fabric, and then let me quickly fold my fabric based on my client's measurements, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. So now I've folded my fabric and this is what we have. So this is like a sneak peek of how it's going to be looking. Though my client is not on the tall side, and you know the design on that Aso Oke in the picture is quite different from what we have. So I'm just going to be telling you how to go about and how to achieve that beauty at the upper part and then the lower part of the fabric. So now I folded my fabric based on my client's measurement. You can do that as well. So I'll be cutting these and I'll be adding a zipper at the back so that my clients can wear it with comfort. But if you don't want to add a zipper to yours, it's entirely optional. So I just divided the shoulder measurement by 2. I added half an inch to join my sleeve because it's going to be a separate sleeve. And then I came down for my armhole. So that's what I'm trying to impute, like so. And so I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So this is just like the norms. So for the neck width, I'm making use of 3.5 inches, and then I'll be slanting my shoulder like so. After slanting the shoulder, make sure you add your half an inch for joining of the shoulder. So now I'll get my half length. My client's half length is 18 inches. Then for the waist hip, you don't really need the hip measurement, except you want your A-line to start from the hip, because this is going to be an A-line gown. So you don't really need the hip measurement, but if you are getting your A shape from the hip side, you can impute your hip measurement. So I'm just basically going to be working with the bust measurement and then the waist measurement. So for the bust measurement, I divided by 4, and then I added 2 inches, 1 inch for ease and 1 inch as sewing allowance. And then I got my armhole. I divided that by 2, and then I'll be carving that out. I wanted to make use of my armhole curve, but it just was not working, so I decided to make use of my hand. And then on the waist side, just divide the waist by 4. You add probably 1 inch for ease, and then you add 1 inch for sewing allowance. That's entirely dependent on you, or you can add 2 inches as your sewing allowance. So whatever you want, you do. So we have our bust and then our waist measurement. So I'm going to push my fabric all the way up so that we'll go to the length of the fabric. Now for the length of the fabric, I'll still shiver it up a little bit so that you would see it. You see, yeah, this is what we have. So now I'm just trying to make that even, to make it straight. So now at this lower part of the length of the gown, I'll just divide. I'll make use of the hip measurement. I'll divide by 4. I'll add extra 4 inches. I'll add extra 4 inches to give it the A-line shape. So this is very dependent on your choice. If you want it very A, you can go ahead and add more than that, but I just decided to add 4 inches extra. And then I'll be slanting from my waist down to meet that line. So you can see that it has given us that A-line shape, just straight up like so. So I'll just go ahead and then cut this out. But before doing that, I have to mark out my neckline. So for the neck depth, I'm making use of 7 inches. And then it's going to be a V neckline because we're cutting the front piece. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So now for the back piece, I didn't know my camera was not capturing the back piece. So for the back piece, the only difference was that I came down for the neck depth by 1 inch. and then I added a zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. So if you didn't see it here, it's because I didn't know my camera was not capturing that, but I believe you can cut it out as I've explained now. Just add your zipper allowance, any inches you want, and then for the neck depth, the neck width remains constant. The only difference is the neck depth. So for the neck depth, just make use of 1 inch and then you cut out. So this is basically what we have now. So like I told you, I didn't show that part, so we're just going straight up to cutting of this beautiful design in the front. Now I've gone ahead to turn my neckline. I cut out facings for that, so just go ahead. If you don't know how to cut out a facing, leave it in the comment section and then I'll be showing you how to do that, probably in another tutorial. So this is my Aso Oke, as you can see. So I'm going to be placing this. You need to take your time to get this. Not really take your time like that per se, but in order to get that pattern that would suit the design you're creating, you need to take your time, because I really took my time here. I was arranging, because by the time I finish arranging, I will discover that the Aso Oke was folding on one part. I'll open it out again, I'll remove it. I just had to cut it out like that so that it will not disturb me. Yes, so I came here and then I placed this like so, and then I'll cut it out as well so that it will be easy for you when you are doing it. But when it's too long, it's going to be, I don't know, it won't be easy for you when you are doing it. So I decided to cut it out so that it will be in a short form, and then I can arrange it as I deem fit and as easy as I can do it. So I'll cut it out. So this is what I have now. Now I can work with this short length. When it's long, it's really tiring. So you can just, I do it very well like so. Just fold it in. Just get the drift of the whole thing, and then like this. So I was still seeing that that part was not smooth. It was not lying flat. So I had to remove the pins again and then realign it very well. So you keep doing it until you get it very well. So as at this point, I was still not satisfied with what I was getting. As you can see, I just intentionally left all these places so that you see what will go through in achieving this. Not that once you just place it, you get it immediately. It is a lie. You need to take your time to arrange all this before you can get it very well. So that is just the whole essence of living. If not, I would have edited this part out, but I decided to leave it so that you can see. It's just like a sneak peek of what happens behind the camera. I just intentionally left it like so that you see how it's done. Because when some people come, isn't that this simple style that you just make and just sew it and all? So you need to see that their work as in involved. You need to stress yourself out in some things to get the actual thing you want, because you want to satisfy your clients and all. So you can see how I'm trying to rearrange it very well until I get what I want, because your work speaks for you. So now you're going to be folding it like so. Just make sure that those edges, those lines are aligned properly, because that is where the beauty of the whole thing comes in. So you make sure that you pin those places down like so. Just make sure you pin those places down. So all those points must be taken into consideration, and then you're going to be folding this part as well. So you can see this is how everything must come out looking beautiful and nice. So you can see, as at this point now, I feel like, yeah, I think I'm okay with what I have. So you can see that I've achieved that I wanted. So this is what we have. We can see the beauty that we're trying to achieve. So now I'll just cut out those ones on there. Just cut it out. Just cut it out like so, and then you're going to be sewing it on both sides down. If you want, you can make use of your hemming gum and then use it to iron it to keep it in place before sewing on it. So I've done the upper part. Now for the design at the lower part. This lower part design is quite tricky if you don't know how to go about it. So it came out like that well because of the design of the Aso Oke that was used. But this is also applicable to this. This is the same way I did it. It's just that my client is not on the tall side, because that one on the thumbnail showed that the client there, or the model there, or the mannequin that was wearing that clothes is tall. So all you need to do is to just take your fabric or your Aso Oke and then slant it. You can see the way I slanted it now. Just make it like slanted, like V pointed upwards, and then you're going to be sewing it like this. So the higher you want it to get to, you adjust it very well. So I'm going to sew that by 1/2 inch and then go ahead and sew on both sides like so. So depending on where you want to place it on your fabric, that is entirely your choice. So I've gone ahead to sew my sleeve. It's just like a normal A-shaped sleeve. My client didn't want it to be long sleeve. She wanted it like 3/4, so you can see that the length is not as long as that on the thumbnail. So I'll give this a very good press, fix my zipper for the back, and then this is what we achieved. Hope you enjoyed this beautiful tutorial. I've not given it a press at all, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a very good press so that everything is going to be sitting pretty neat and nice. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So thank you all, and God bless you all. See you all on my next tutorial, because it's going to be mind-blowing and it's going to be exquisite. Yeah, so thank you, and God bless you. So you can see the beauty of the V neckline. It's very beautiful because my clients really loved it. So thank you all, and like I always say, this is Genius Signatures, and I'll be signing out. Thank you. Bye. Ciao.